Sounds good. Well, hello everyone. My name is Caesar. Again, I will be the presenter today alongside the awesome Miss Catherine from Wilmington and Miss Ingrid from Wilmington as well. Today, we will be talking about understanding and selecting a college major slash internship. Um, so real quick, I just want to just get a quick little icebreaker. Or actually, no, we're going to talk about who we are. So real quick, again, my name is Caesar Montano. I am the lead case manager for the port side here at the Boys and Girls Club. I've only been here 2-3 weeks max, and I love it here. But again, I did attend Cal State University of Northridge. I majored in sociology slash criminal justice. I chose sociology because I've always been like a people person. I've always been very curious. Sociology is the study of social behavior, human development, and how that pretty much affects humans' behavior in a society. And criminal justice, just because as a kid, as young kids, we always want to be firemen, police officers, stuff like that. And I just always wanted to become a police officer. A fun fact is that I did attend Pacific Palisades High School. I don't really think that's a fun fact, but every single time I mention that I attended Pacific Palisades, everyone's like, what? Like, no way. That's so awesome. And the reason for that being is because Pacific Palisades is in the Pacific Palisades, which is around Malibu area, or people don't really know, maybe Santa Monica. If you guys ever been to Santa Monica Pier, it's literally like a 5-minute drive to the beach, the Santa Monica Pier. So I used to pass by there every single day of my life, and I loved it. Not only that, but because it's in the Pacific Palisades, which is really known for a good area, there's a lot of celebrities out there. So I actually got to meet will.i.am because he actually attended that high school, and he comes back just to say hello every now and then. I also got to meet Sofia, or not me, but I saw Sofia Vergara and Adam Sandler just strolling around, walking the dog and stuff like that. So real quick, I'm going to pass it to my coworker, Miss Catherine Aldana.
Okay, hi everybody. My name is Catherine Aldana, or as many of you know me, Cat, to keep it easy and simple. I did attend Cal State Northridge. I recently graduated in the spring with a major in sociology. And no, me and Caesar did not see each other in college. We actually met here at the Boys and Girls Club. And a fun fact about me is that I actually love ramen. I always talk about it if you're around me. I always ask like, oh, do you love ramen? It's so, I feel like that's like a dish everyone should try. But there's only a specific spot that I like not all the ramen places. So yeah, that's all about me. And now I'm going to pass it out to Miss Ingrid.
Hello, everyone. So my name is Ingrid Burola. I'm in the Wilmington site and also at Fremont High School. I went to Cal State Dominguez Hills, go Toros, where I majored in communications with an emphasis in public relations, and I minored in sociology. So I guess something we all have in common is that sociology. And a fun fact, I was a waitress for 10 years. Although I'm only 20, I was a waitress for 10. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not only 20, but I was a waitress for 10 years. I've been working since I was 16. I've been with the club for 7. So that's like 17 years of my working life. Have been here, and that's technically half of my life. But yeah, that's a fun fact about me. I guess I could also put out there that I belly danced in college. So yeah. And let me go ahead and allow Caesar to control our slide, and we'll continue with our presentation.
All right, thank you for those lovely introductions. So real quick, just to break the ice, we're gonna do a quick icebreaker. We're gonna do this or that edition. So pretty much what we're gonna do is choose what we decide we like more. So first of all, I think In-N-Out personally is very overrated. I'm not really, I like it, but it's like whatever to me. So real quick, if anyone could just drop it in the chat or just speak up and let me know, what do you guys prefer, In-N-Out or Chick-fil-A? Anybody? Wow. That's the reaction I usually get. Yeah, yeah, In-N-Out, no. See, no, I don't agree with that.
In-N-Out for life.
Nah. I know Chick-fil-A isn't big out here in the port, but in LA it is, and Chick-fil-A all the way for sure. So next, I know what happened, Kat?
Everybody's saying In-N-Out, and someone said neither.
Yeah, neither. Oh man, I respect it. I respect that. All right, so next we're gonna do LA Lakers or LA Clippers. Where are my Laker fans and where are none again? Where are my Clipper fans?
There ain't none. Me. No love.
They say the average age of the LA Lakers squad is like 50 years old, but
I
all
don't
right,
watch
how
sports.
about Twitter or Instagram? Those Twitter fingers or those IG posts?
Twitter for life.
Damn, Miss Maya just says neither for everything. She does not like anything. And there you go, Lake Show. There you go. And then lastly, the question we all want to know the answer to: does pineapple belong on pizza? Personally, I love pineapple on pizza. It's a must for me. It's amazing. People need to try it, but you know, there you go. See, oh, never try. Oh, well, if you've never tried it, you should definitely try it. Again, just to let you know, if you guys have any other questions about the PowerPoint or slide, make sure to speak up and let us know, or if not, just drop the question in the chat. But we will begin the PowerPoint. So real quick, we will be talking about, the objective of today's PowerPoint is to help you understand the power you have as underclassmen in determining your future. So we have explored a little into depth already about all the institutions. We will continuously be talking about it, but we have been speaking about CSUs, which is Cal State Universities, private schools, UCs, University of California's. But where does that leave you? So today we're going to be starting on our pathway of exploration and understanding our application, components, and interest for our future with a college major / internship. So how does it start today? Real quick. Because what you do now is what admission officers examine and evaluate to determine their admission. So this is also a chance for you to start exploring within your community to see if your dream career truly is that dream career. So just know that we always emphasize that you are more than your grades. I know primary focus is your grades. People always say, do great in school, try to take rigorous classes, but just know that you are more than your grades. Especially as UCs will look at other things that you have done, such as extracurricular activities, whether that means sports, clubs, leadership programs, or even community service. So just know that sophomore and junior year are the years most important. Those are the years they really do focus on and look at. So make sure you guys, if not have started, start now and start, overachieving, doing more than possible so that you make sure that you are acceptable and will be accepted. So when you look at the concept of any college application, there are a few key components in understanding who you are as a person. So obviously, again, the first would be your transcripts or your academic history. So your transcripts meaning everything, every single grade and class that you have taken since freshman year to senior year will show up on your transcript. So that is one key component in understanding who you are. Again, second would be your academic resume. So your academic resume would be an equivalent to a job resume. So in a job resume, you outline, you put every single job that if you put in the past and how many years. So your academic resume would pretty much be putting every single thing that you have done academically, from community service, extracurricular activities, awards, any clubs that you've been part of. Anything that has to do with academics, you will put that in your academic resume. If you have a lot of questions on what that still is or how to create one, like I said, we will be most likely to help you guys out. We will definitely be showing more PowerPoints and more information about that. And lastly, your passions and your interests. So make sure, as of right now, the easiest way to try to choose a major or an area in which you want to study is to look at what interests you. Maybe some people like sports, maybe some people like comms, maybe some people want to become, I don't know, reporters. So they would probably look into comms. A lot of people like engineering. Engineering is a very popular major, psychology, stuff like that. But that all comes from what makes you passionate and what you are interested about. So next, we are going to be understanding who you are. So we're going to start real quick with academics. Your academic record is the foundation of your application. Again, colleges will view your grades that you have achieved as the best predictor of your future and your academic success. So the level of difficulty of the classes you've taken and your grades are the primary yardstick by which you will be evaluated. So again, CSUs, UCs want to see that, you're putting in that work, that, that you're challenging yourself, which is why we tell most of you guys to start taking honors and AP courses. So it's very fundamental that you guys take these, because like, again, schools do see if you guys are challenging yourselves, if you guys are, overachieving, or not maybe overachieving, but at least, like I said, just challenging yourselves. They know that you are trying hard to really go above and beyond. You can also find a college course academic requirements listed on its website. So beyond meeting the requirements, admission representatives do want to see what academic interest you have pursued. So I know that highly competitive schools are looking for students who have taken the most rigorous courses. Again, so examples would be like APs, honors, and even IBs, just to name a few. And then you could also consult with your guidance and or college counselors to plan the high school curriculum which is most suited for you. But the process does not end there. So on the other side, to understand who you are, we're talking about extracurricular activities. What this means is each student brings his or own identity to campus. So you can show admissions who you are through your extracurricular activities. This includes athletics, again, community service, work experience, and summer activities. So college look at the breadth and depth to which you have explored your interests. Your choices reflect your values and your personality. So again, extracurricular activities really show who you are as a person, and it really does show off your personality, especially because I know a lot of young kids are very shy and timid, and maybe they don't know, or they're still confused on what they want to do or who they are. But just know that just by looking at what you like to do, your interests and your passions, you can tell a lot through that person. Your extracurricular involvement not only tells schools what you've done throughout high school, but it also conveys how you may attribute or contribute to their community as a prospect member. So everyone has different interests. Everyone's different. Everyone likes different things. Like I said, there's many options to explore, but as long as you start now and start exploring, that's the most important part. That's what we try to push. And one interest does not necessarily mean better than the other. So just because you may like something that isn't as popular as something else, it doesn't mean that either they're better than you or you're better than them. So what is important is why and how you choose to become involved, and what that means to you. So don't paint a picture of who you think admissions is looking for. So let's say you want to apply to a school that they're known for, I don't know, accepting nursing or athletes. Yeah, don't just paint a picture and be like, oh, I'm not going to get into that school because of that. Like I said, just be who you are. Make sure you put in your work, and that work will pay off. So demonstrate with authenticity the real you. You don't want to act or try to seem like someone you're not. Always try to be the real you, because you will have the opportunity to share your personal profile with admissions on your applications, either in the activities section or the Common App, in an individual school application, or if requested, in an uploaded resume. So whether you just started high school or underclassmen, so explore school clubs and organizations, volunteer opportunities, and hobbies in order to identify extracurricular activities. So that's why I know some schools are having club days. So that's why it's very important to start, socializing, walking around, see what club you think will fit for you, because like, again, this will start, opening up who you want to become, your personal interest, and things like that. So I really encourage you to join a club. Again, you'll also have club day in college. And there's like way more clubs in college. Like if you like robots, like you have robotics, you have a chess club. You could even join the Greek system, which is fraternities and sororities. I was actually part of a fraternity, and it really helped me just become who I am. I actually, when I came into college, I was like very shy and timid, but it really made me, grow as a person, be out there, really made me explore what it is to be politics and just anything like that. We did a lot of philanthropies, community service. So real quick, we're going to look into exploring real quick. We're going to go. So we're going to be exploring your interests. So these are some of the interests, common interests. So we have here sports, community service, again, awards, work experience, competitions, all sort of things like that. Does anybody want to see any more or would like to know any more on any of these extracurricular activities? just let me know real quick. I'm just going to choose real quick the work experiences, just because I know most of you are very young and don't know, the appropriate age or when you would know when you want to work. So real quick for work experiences, just know that these can be paid. It depends on where you work, but it can be either paid or unpaid. Which means that you can either intern or, well, honestly, intern is just a win-win. Even if you don't get paid as an intern, what you want to do is just gain experience. As a young adult, you just want to gain experience so that when you do enter a field that you do want to work in, you have that knowledge and you can just easily just adapt. So you can either intern or work to gain experience in a field, or if it's truly something that you are passionate about, or if it's just like blast. So let's say like you thought you wanted it to do psychology and you do an internship, or you say you want to go into the medical field and you go do an internship with a hospital, and then you find out that the shifts are too long, or like it's just too much work, or you just really like it. So that lets you just find out whether through that internship that's not something that you wanted to do, and instead of wasting time, you could just move on to something else that you would want to do. So like working, for example, in a fast food or at a retail store, internships are highly coveted because they're free experiences to work in various companies or areas to determine if it is something that you truly see yourself doing. Is the scope of your work you though it would be. So just know that life is short. You don't want to ever be wasting time. So that's why we encourage kids as a young age to start now, start gaining that knowledge and that experience, so that by the time you come to college, you know what you at least have some type of idea of what you want to do. Just know that great opportunity partnerships are like refineries, Earthwatch, Kaiser, LA Biomed, LA Children's Hospital, the Intern Project, Expanding Horizons, or even Bank of America. So again, I know this is a lot of information. If you have any questions, just drop it in the chat, or just let me know if there's any other things that you guys want to know more about, maybe sports, awards, summer experiences. Just let me know. We can look more into that. But just to go on real quick, so we will be talking about now once you start exploring things, it makes it way easier to start thinking about your major. So again, it all starts from your interest and your passion, something that you really like and passionate about, that most likely you're going to end up choosing as your major. So again, major is key. So a major is the area of study you focus on while pursuing your degree. So I know I'm going to be throwing the word major a lot. So just to enhance what I've been saying, it's often referred to as your major. So your majors consist of a group of core classes, as well as any additional requirements determined by your degree program. Sometimes called a major concentration, a major will be paired with your degree when you graduate to give future employers and or graduate programs an idea of what you have studied and or your level of knowledge in a particular area. So for example, if you major in business, the degree you may earn in Bachelor's of Business is Administration. Same thing, if you want to study engineer, your major would be engineering. However, there's many sub majors within engineering. So engineering is very broad. So you could become an electrical engineer, mechanical, aerospace. So yeah, there's a lot of options within a major. Like again, it all comes down to your passionate interest, and your focus can be a subject, theme, or profession. So real quick, we're going to be talking about subject versus professional. So real quick, some subject majors will be considered sociology, psychology, education, and Spanish. These are majors who will be discussed mainly primarily on a subject. However, they do focus on an area that you are passionate about and invested in. And yes, you will be able to find work within those majors, as opposed to professional majors, which again, engineering, nursing, business, accounting, architecture, they're less broad, more focus on the education to prepare you for working within that field, such as once you have your engineering degree, you can work as an engineer. And then so then why go to college or career school? So there is a correlation between going to college, getting the knowledge that you need, and how much money you will make in your life. So degrees and money do go hand in hand. According to the statistical federal student aid, as you can see on your left. So let's say you have less than a high school diploma, you will averagely make about 34 grand, almost hitting 35. If you do have some high school or no college, you will make about 50, and so forth and so forth. So as you can see right here in the purple space, it does say with the bachelor's degree, you will be making about 82 grand. So this doesn't apply to everyone. This is kind of an average rough estimate. Everyone's different. That doesn't mean just because you have a bachelor's, you're automatically going to make 82 grand. But like I said, it's just a rough estimate just for your knowledge, for you to know, like, hey, like if I do get a bachelor's, I could possibly be making that much money. So obviously, if you pursue more than a bachelor's, you see here a master's, you start hitting 97, almost 100K, which is 6 figures. Who doesn't want to make 6 figures? And then if you hit doctoral or even more professional degree, you can start earning up to 150, even over that. So again, degrees and money do go hand in hand. So just know that the further you go in education, the more specialized you become in a field. So the more specialized you become in a field, the harder it is for you even just to get fired, because they know that you will be that go-to man. The more specialized means that the more money you will earn because you are becoming an expert. Again, any questions, just drop it in the chat. I will pass it over to Miss Kat over here so that she can continue on with the session.
Thank you. So I'm going to be speaking about explaining the levels of education. So I don't know about you, but when I was in high school, honestly, I didn't know anything. I was like, what is a degree? What is a major? I don't know what you guys are talking about. And especially because I was the first in my family to even think about going to college, let alone graduating in high school. They didn't even graduate high school. I was the first one. So when people spoke about this, I didn't know what they were talking about. It was even until college that I was really, truly understanding each of these things. So for those people that are in the same boat as I am, I'm going to be explaining it to you. And if you do have knowledge on this, that's awesome. You're already one step ahead of where I was in high school. So the first thing that I'm going to be speaking about is your bachelor's degree. If you guys can't hear me at some point, just let me know in the chat. So basically, a bachelor's degree is a 4 years of work earning, and you get either a bachelor's in science or a bachelor's in art. Basically, me, Caesar, and Miss Ingrid have a bachelor's degree. That means we went straight to university. We were there for either 4 years. Other people go for a little bit longer, but they still end up getting this degree. And after, you can continue pursuing higher education and you get your master's degree. So I personally I barely graduated in the spring. I'm taking a small break from school. So maybe in the future, depending how I'm feeling, I'm going to continue into a master's degree. Hopefully, I do end up continuing. And in the master's degree, it's basically a 1 to 3 years education. So some people it's 3 years, some people it's 1. But basically from here, you become an expert within a field of study. And you don't have to go into your master's with the same thing you got in your bachelor's. So if I graduated, I graduated with in a degree in sociology. If I decide to go into my master's program, I don't have to continue doing sociology. Most likely I would if I were to continue. And then after, if you want to still take another step, you could get your PhD, the Doctor of Philosophy. The amount of year varies based on the field of interest. You are now becoming an expert and must perform research discovering something new, proving your work to a panel of experts. You do not succeed until your research is approved by the panel. So during your PhD, you're going to be doing a lot of research, and also you will be titled doctor. So I think that's pretty cool. Next slide, please. Oh, I have access to it. Just kidding. So what is a degree? So is that my slide? Yeah. So basically, some of you may be thinking like, I don't know what the heck you're saying. So I'm going to explain it to you in a more in depth. So degrees are divided by both by discipline and the level of study. In terms of degree level, students can choose to pursue associate's, bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees. And often they choose to progress from one to the next over the course of several years. So I talked about bachelor's, I talked about master's, and I also talked about the PhD, which is a doctoral, but I didn't speak about associates. So many of you guys are going to choose the community college route, and that is okay. And during your community college, if you complete 2 years, you get your associate's degree. So after that, many students decide, you know what, like I want to transfer to a university, and that's when you can go to either like a UC, a CSU, whichever you would like. And then you earn your bachelor's degree. And then, like I said, the next step would be a master's, and then after that would be a PhD. So within each degree type, there are variations based on one's focus of study. For example, according to the College Board, the most common bachelor's degree are a Bachelor's of Arts or a Bachelor's of Science, but some colleges offer Bachelor's of Fine Arts, BFA degrees. So basically, like me, I got a bachelor's in sociology, so I got a BS. But if you were to major in education, that would be a BA. So none is greater than the other. It just depends on what you decide to study, and that's what you get your degree on. And that's something that honestly I didn't even know. Like I was just going to college. I was never in the college bound program. I was never in the Boys and Girls Club, and I was not aware of any of this. So now I'm like, oh, okay. Like this whole time I was pursuing a BS. Like I didn't even know that, which is kind of sad, but that's the reality of like people that don't know anything about college, you know? So that's why you guys have an advantage because we're teaching you this. And maybe right now you guys are either a freshman and you're like, okay, like Kat, I don't care. Like senior year is so far away. Sophomore year, you're like, Kat, I still have 2 more years to worry about this. Like, no, it's important to know now because then you're educated and you're able to help other students that honestly have no clue like I did. So yeah. So in order to understand a major, you need to understand a degree. So components of a degree. So basically, if you've been in the college bound, you know that there's some classes that you need to take in order to graduate high school, and then some classes colleges look at. So basically, that's kind of how it works right now in college. Your first 2 years, you're taking your general education requirements, so your GEs. So you're taking classes that are required by the college, and during this time, you're able to explore. So that's how I ended up in sociology. When I first entered college, I was like, for sure, public health major for life. Like nursing is gonna be my life. Like nobody's gonna ever change my mind. But then I took a sociology class as one of my GEs, and I really liked it. So I was like, dang, like I kind of want to take another sociology class. To like, I was like, maybe I do really like this major. So I took another sociology class, and I really, really liked it. And I ended up switching my major. So during this time of your GEs, you're able to explore. And I feel like it's really awesome if you're someone that's like, you know what, Kat, like I don't really know what I want to do. This is the time where you're like able to nitpick like different classes. I kind of like a regret that I have is not minoring in communications because I took a lot of communication classes just for fun. I like to challenge myself. And at the end, I was like, dang, I should have just minored in communications because when I like took those classes during my GEs, like I really truly enjoyed it. So once you do your 2 years of your GEs, then you finally get into your major classes. So my first 2 years, I took like communications, I took political science, my math classes, my English classes. And then my last 2 years of college, I took only sociology classes. So I was able to explore my major more in depth. And then, so that's basically what this triangle is basically saying, you know, you do your GEs and then you get into your major classes. And so for those that really enjoy their major, that's like their fun time because you're like surrounded with people that are passionate about the same thing as you. Personally, me, like I really enjoyed going to my sociology classes because everybody just like is a people person. They just want to talk. They just want to always participate in class. And I personally, I'm like that. I'm very like talkative as like I'm talking right now, like super fast. I talk a lot. I'm very chatty. And that's how everybody in my class was. So I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, dang, like I wish I would have met all these people sooner. But yeah.
Sorry, Kat, before you go on to the next slide, just to let you know that it is very common for people to reach college and still not know what they want to do. That is very common, so don't feel bad if you go reach college and you're like, I still don't know what I want to do. Just know it's very common. Not only that, but it's also very common to switch your major. Just like Kat, I actually started off as a bio major. I wanted to become a zoo biologist, which is pretty much the study of animals. But they didn't in Northridge. Again, I didn't really do my studying either. That in Northridge they did actually not had that major. The closest thing that had a zoo biology was actually marine bio. So for my first year of college, I took marine bio and I really did not like it. So I ended up switching to sociology. But again, that's why, you know, it's very important when you're taking your GE, your electives in college, the same thing as high school. You start learning and taking new classes, and then you start liking classes, and maybe that might lead you to your new major. I took one psychology class, introduction to psychology. I know some of you guys might be taking that class, but honestly, like during that time, I wanted to decide what major I want to do. I took that intro to psych class, and then I fell in love with psych. So I was like, oh, maybe I want to study psych. And then I took a religious study class, and I was like, oh, this is really cool, expanding my mind. Maybe I want to do this. So honestly, there was a period of time where I honestly had like 3 different things I wanted to do. And it was kind of hard for me to really choose on what I wanted to do. But like I said, a lot of factors come into that. Not only do you want to choose something you want to do, but just know that you want to choose something where you know you're going to have a steady job in and a steady pay. So those are all factors in which come to play when it comes to choosing a major.
Yes, thank you so much, Caesar, for sharing that. And yes, like he said, like don't feel like you have to know right now what you want to major in because, like I said, I honestly like during high school I was clueless all the time. Like all my friends were like set on what they wanted to explore, what they wanted to do, and I was just like blank, like I don't know what I want to do. So I was just like, okay, well, nursing sounds like I want to do that, So basically, like, don't feel pressured. That's why it's important for you to start thinking now. That's why we want to introduce it to you so early. So you can already start like exploring, asking people, like you can ask them like, yeah, what did you study? Like sociology, what is that all about? Maybe, someone that's studying engineering, like, oh, engineering, what is that all about? Like, it's okay to ask questions. Honestly, that's something that I should have done, but I didn't. Let me see. Okay. So keep things to keep in mind. You are not stuck with your major for life. So don't think because, oh, I choose engineering, I have to do engineering for the rest of my life or else everybody's going to be disappointed. No, you have the ability to change majors, like we said, I changed major, Caesar changed major, and we are happy with that decision. We went and we decided, what, this isn't for me, and that's okay. Many people in college actually change their major. That's something that we're going to learn more in an upcoming video right now, that many people actually do change their mind because we're so young, high school, you're young. You have to make a life decision, basically, decide what you want to do for the rest of your life. But in reality, you learn that you can change and you can change your mind, and that's okay. Like, don't be too hard on yourself. And there is no perfect or right major, just some are more satisfying than others. So basically, like public health, like I said, I didn't like that major, but that doesn't mean it's a bad major. It just means that I personally didn't enjoy it. I personally didn't have the connection. But now that I'm in sociology, like I really enjoy it. Like I said, I was in my class and I was so passionate, like I would always look forward to my classes because that was just something that I found a lot of interest in. That's what I like doing. I like talking to people. Even before I decided I was a sociology major, like I literally would talk a lot. I like learning new things about people. I like meeting new people. That's just my personality. So a lot of times your personality is going to go with your major. You're going to be, now I'm like, oh, that makes sense. I'm a sociology major. I like to talk. And then there is no magical test that will tell you what major to be. So there's no test that you have to take that's going to be like, okay, Melissa, this is the major that is made for you. Like, no, there's different tests that will tell you what personality you have. And based on your personality, you can see like, oh, okay, my personality kind of aligns with this major. Like I can see myself like actually liking this major. So that's something that we're going to teach you here as well at the College Bound, that there's different tests where you can see your personality. And based on your personality, it will show you different majors that can potentially be one that you are interested in. But we're not going to show you a test that's going to tell you like, this is the key. Because I know for sure when I was in high school, I did that. Like, what, like the test for majors? I was silly like that. And then I'm gonna play a video. Should I overly stress on it? So this is a testimonial of a person in college. So let me know if you can hear. Can you guys hear it? Negative? She's me talking to myself. Okay. Well, Ingrid fixes the volume. Do any of you put in the chat have like a major in mind? Type in the chat if you have a major that you're thinking about, or if you have no idea. Yeah, I was able to hear that, but we just have to play it from the beginning.
For me in college was figuring out what I really did want to settle on for my first major. My freshman year, I entered into the engineering program in biomedical engineering. And I sort of set ahead with this idea that like this is what I picked, this is what I need to do. But once I got to school, I realized it wasn't quite the right fit for me. So I think the biggest adjustment was just sort of figuring out what was going to make me happiest and what was the best academic program for me. And also coming to the realization that I'm a freshman in college. It's okay to change my major, and it's okay to try something new and do something that maybe wasn't in the plan when I started.
Okay, so here you're able to see that this young woman, she herself changed majors, and that was okay. So that's what we're learning, you know, that it's okay to not know what you want to major in, but it is awesome that we get to explore. So let me see. Okay, so Kat, what if I have multiple interests? What if I like communications and I like sociology? What do I do, Kat? Like, how can I make that happen? So you can double major or major and minor. So basically, we're gonna learn more about this right now, or you can just switch your major, like we were saying. You can switch, or you can actually combine two. So we're gonna learn about that. What does it mean to combine two majors? So double major versus minor. So double major, if you double major, you get 2 degrees. Kathy Sims of the UCLA Career Center told Fast Web that students who have a serious concentration in 2 areas may look more valuable to employers. Further, because students who have double majors have 2 different degrees, they may be able to apply for more jobs because some jobs require a specific degree. For example, if you majored in political science, but you minored in journalism, instead of double majoring, you will not be able to apply for jobs at agencies requiring a bachelor's degree or higher in journalism. Finally, for those looking at a specific career, a double major might be the best preparation. For instance, if you plan to start your own political magazine, you might want to double major in political science and journalism because you will need the skills that both majors teach to achieve this goal. So when you double major, you basically have 2 skills. Not only do you have a skill in journalism, but now you know a lot about political science. So double majoring, you just have the advantage of knowing double. So while I only know about sociology, you may have more knowledge about political science and sociology as well. And a lot of times when people double major, they get a major that aligns the other major. So they'll choose something that will work with each other, like they enhance each other. And then minor. Minors have both personal and professional value. According to the University of Washington, minors will not necessarily make you more attractive to graduate or professional programs or employers. However, they do allow you to learn more about an area that you are personally interested in, but that you do not think you will pursue professionally or that you will pursue on the side a main career. So basically a minor, like, for example, I have a lot of friends that minor in different things. Like, let's say I majored in sociology and I minored in Chicano studies. Like, it doesn't mean that I want to pursue Chicano studies, but it just means that I want to learn more about it. I have a small interest in it, and I would like to take more classes. So you're able to do that as well. And then next, Miss Ingrid, I will give you the floor. Oh, sorry. Oh, I did it on mine.
Alrighty, sorry, we're all trying to share the, the mouse. So let's go back really quick for a liberal arts major. So the liberal arts major covers a range of subject matters. So if you choose a major in liberal arts, sorry, let me minimize this. If you choose to major in the liberal arts, you'll probably take classes in a wide variety of subject areas, which can include English, literature, history, sociology, economics, philosophy. So if you're kind of like, I think we all share that in common. They mentioned that, you know, they went into school picking a certain major and then took a class that made them fall in love with the major that they ended up pursuing, which is sociology. I guess I'll share my story as well. I went in as a Spanish major. I switched to history. Then I went undecided. I did my GEs. And then I took an intro to communications. And I was like, yes, that's what I want to do. I chose to, I was at a point where I had to choose a major. So I went off with communications. When I was halfway through my major courses, I decided maybe it's not really for me. I thought it was for me, but it's not. But I was way too far in. I was gonna, delay my graduation a whole nother year or two. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna stick it through, but I'm gonna minor in sociology. I ended up taking a bunch of classes in sociology, which, allowed me to have that major in communications and that minor in sociology. Also, just something really quick with the liberal arts major. If you've heard of liberal arts colleges, that means, think of it like it's described as the major. So in these liberal art colleges, it's they're very small colleges. They're very catered to their students. So if you're a student that's kind of like in between one or two majors, these liberal art colleges could kind of customize a major for you. And I think that's great, especially if you have an interest in an array of subjects. So that's a little bit about the liberal arts major. Let's go ahead and watch another video that kind of emphasizes that it's okay not to know what you want to do. And like I said, I majored in communications, I minored in sociology, and I'm working in the education field. So, go figure. It's what you choose to study is not going to determine your career path for the rest of your life. You could take a lot of the things that you learn in college, you learn a lot of different skills, and you just adapt to a new environment, a different career field. So let's go on to the major.
Students often think that you have to know what you want to major in or what you want to do for the rest of your life in order to do your college search process, and that is just so far from the truth. Most people are still figuring out, if they would ask the adults in their life, they're still figuring out what they want to be when they grow up, and so there's lots of time to do it. Students need to instead think about how they want to learn. That's the important question. They're going to get to college and usually have the first year, if not the first 2 years, to take courses, figure out what they're good at, take things that they've never had a chance to be exposed to before. That's what's going to help them then figure out what to do next, what your major is going to be, and what your life experience is going to be. College gives you opportunities to find those things out. You don't need to do them ahead of time and think, if I don't have this all figured out, I'm going to fail. Often students who think they know what they're going to major in, they change their mind 2 or 3 times. And sometimes that's a much more difficult process and disappointing process than the student that comes in undecided and is very open to everything that comes their way.
Sorry, I was putting something in the chat, but pretty much it's okay to apply to college as an undeclared major and work your way in college into finding out what that major is. The only thing is, if you are considering something like Caesar mentioned earlier, the subject majors, where it's like nursing, engineering, you kind of do need to know that ahead of time, because you can't major in like sociology and then become a nurse. I mean, you can do that, but you're pretty much going to have to do school all over again, because it's 2 completely different areas where, a nursing major, you're actually learning what you're going to be using on the field. So definitely, at least those in those situations, do keep that in mind. But anything else you could definitely use in any field. So let's go on to the next slide. So there are 6 components for picking a major, things that you should consider. So what are things that interest and inspire me? What are skills that I want to use and excel at, and the skills that I don't want to use? What are the work values that I'm looking for? What ideally at work, like, what do I want to see? What do I want them to value, to meet, to have this company's values kind of aligned to what I envision, what I want to do, my values. Career exploration and research. So let's start doing that now. All you underclassmen, you have more than enough time to start doing that now and have something more. Again, I don't want to say set on stone, because life happens, you could change your mind, but at least have an idea when it comes to senior year. Have connecting majors to careers. You want to be a teacher, you don't necessarily have to, well, there is no major in teaching, but you don't necessarily have to go one route. If you want to be a teacher, you could major in different, you could pursue different majors, and still that could lead you into teaching. And reviewing and having a reality check. So I'm gonna, in the next couple of slides, I'm gonna provide you with the resource that I hope all of you use. I hope all of you, if you are in 11th, 10th grade, you've seen this before. It's a website that we love to look at, just so you have an idea of, what careers entail, what the day-to-day consists of specific careers. So let us go ahead and get into business. So let's connect with who you are. Like Kat said, there's no specific magic test that's going to be like, oh, Kat, you're going to be a teacher because this is what the test said. There are, however, personality assessments that based on your interests, your likes, it could kind of gear you towards specific careers that might fit those interests, those likes, those things that you like doing. And you'll have a variety of lists. It's not just one specific career that this is where you're going to be and that's it. You have careers in similar areas, and then from there you can make that decision. So one of those personality tests that we're going to be talking about, if you are on site and have a packet, you'll be able to see it in your packet. If not, then follow along with me on here. But it is the Holland code. It is a 3-letter code that is made up of an individual's 3 dominant personality types out of 6 possible choices, according to a theory developed by Dr. John Holland, a psychologist. The 6 types Dr. Holland identified are collectively referred as to the RIASEC, and the initials stand for the first letter of each of the following personality types: realistic, investigative, artistic, social, enterprising, and conventional. If you use a self-assessment tool called Strong Interest Inventory, your Holland code is included in the results. This code could be the key, or at least one of the keys to finding a compatible career. Really quick, anyone in the chat want to guess what's my strongest personality out of the 6? Anyone? The chat has been very, very dead, for lack of a better word. So anybody, the first person that can tell me or that can guess what my personality is will get a gift card.
Gift card to what?
Starbucks, $10 Starbucks gift card. And today is National Coffee Day. Anybody, somebody. Mateo, all right, Mateo, come see me after workshop. Yes, my strongest personality is social. And Steven, yes, social, but the first one that I saw was Mateo. So congratulations on your gift card. All righty, so let's recap on the Holland code. So if you have, all of you guys should have a device because you are on Zoom, you can open up a window on the side and go to cacareerzone.org/IP, and we're gonna do the interest profiler. I'll do one so all of you can see. And this is what the website would look like, this down here. And if you are on site and you have the actual paper packet, you can actually do the activity on here. It gives you the instructions here. So pretty much you're gonna go through each row, or you could go down each column. There's no preferred thing. And you're gonna circle everything that sounds like something that you would like to do. I'm gonna go on to the California Career Zone for those of you that don't have the paper copy, so you see what I'm talking about. If you have an account, you can go ahead and log on. If you don't, that's absolutely fine. You can actually start an interest profile without having an account. And then after you finish your interest profile, you have the option to create an account so it could save your results. So you're gonna go to start a new interest profiler. It says that I have okay. It's because I started one. So you're gonna, because of time constraints, we're gonna do the 30 question, the mini one. If you have more time, you could do the 60 question, and it takes a little more time, but let's go ahead and go with 30 questions. So here you're pretty much, it's gonna tell you if you like doing certain types of work, you're gonna either say strongly dislike, unsure, like, or strongly like. So let's go with next. I really hope, thank you, Kat, for putting the link in the chat. If you guys want to follow along and do your own, you can definitely click on that link and follow along. If not, I am going to ask for participation. Hopefully, some of you are brave enough to unmute yourself just so you could tell me like strongly dislike, because if I answer it again, we already know my number one is social and it's just going to be very biased. Kat and Caesar, if you guys want to go ahead and, shout out some answers as well, just so we could see, I guess, different personalities of all of us in here. So building kitchen cabinets, do we strongly dislike? Do we dislike? Are we unsure? Do we like, or do we strongly like? Anybody, somebody?
Strongly dislike.
Dislike. Okay, strongly dislike. Thank you, Maya, for participating in the chat. Developing a new medicine. Like, all right, Steven. Write books or plays. Semi-like. Okay, Maya, let's go with in the middle. Teach an individual an exercise or routine. We're gonna go in the middle, maybe. I think Caesar strongly likes that. Oh, dislike, what was that for that one? Sorry, for this next one, buy and sell stocks and bonds. Like, Caesar likes it, strongly like, all right, extremely like. Okay, Mateo. Perfect. Develop a spreadsheet using computer software. Medium. Okay, I'll go with medium. Yeah, I'm with you, Maya. I just like that, but let's go ahead and repairing household appliances. Strongly like. All right, Stephen. Conduct chemical experiments. Like. All right. Compose or arrange music. Whoa, 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 whoa. I see a lot of likes, so we're gonna go with like. Give career guidance to people. Can anybody guess what my answer would be? Oh, dislikes. Let's go with dislikes. All right, operate a beauty salon or barber shop. I see dislike, dislike, one like, dislike. We'll go with the majority and go with dislike. Install software across computers on a large network. I see like, dislike. I see more likes than dislikes. All right. Assemble electronic parts. I see a lot of likes. All right. Examine blood samples using a microscope. Like, one dislike. I see more likes. A negative from his cat.
That's her blood type.
Oh, dislikes. Oh, there were more dislikes. Okay. Oh, is this for special effects? Is this the dislikes? Yeah, okay, let's dislike special effects. Volunteer at a nonprofit. I should see a lot of likes because I know a lot of you like to help at the club. And a lot of you do like. Oh, one dislike. We're gonna go with like. Start your own business.
Mega like.
Like, extremely? Okay. Keep shipping and receiving records. Like, dislike. Like. Okay, we're gonna go with like. Test the quality of parts before shipment. Like, dislike. Okay, let's see the tiebreaker. Like. Okay, we're gonna like this. Develop a way to better predict the weather. Like. Oh, okay. I could see who my engineers might possibly be in here. All right, write scripts for movies or television shows. I see dislike, I see one like. Let's see the tiebreaker. Who's gonna be a tiebreaker, like or dislike? Like, all right, Maya, the tiebreaker. Teach sign language to people with hearing disabilities. Like, okay, let's go with like. Represent a client in a lawsuit. We're my future lawyers. Like, dislike. Oh, dislike. Oh, okay. I thought this one was gonna get more likes. All right, and we're almost there. Inventory supplies using a handheld computer, whatever that is. I'm assuming a phone now or a tablet. Likes, all righty. Next, set up and operate machines to make products. I could like, all right. I figured. Invent a replacement for sugar. Any chemists out there? Dislike, dislike. Ooh, no chemists. Sing in a band. Dislike, like. Let's see the tiebreaker. Dislike, strongly dislike. Oh, no singers in here. Taking care of children at a daycare center. Dislike, like, let's go. Strongly dislike. Okay, Stephen does not like children. All right. Sell merchandise at a department store. Dislike, like. Okay, one more. a tiebreaker? Who's gonna be the tiebreaker? I'm gonna ask Maya. Maya, like or dislike? Dislike. Okay, Apollo. That's dislike. Keeping inventory records. Like. All right. And last one. Oh, that was the last one. Let's summarize. So based on our collective responses, our top 3 areas of interest are conventional, investigative, and realistic. In the next slide, I'll go over what those mean. And they're scored based on how you answered. So based on your interests, you could view occupations, and even in the order in which your interests kind of come, it could give you, it could vary the occupations that you see. So this website, what's cool about it is that you go and it tells you what kind of, again, based on your interests, what kind of careers might be fit for you. So you have quality control analysts, geophysical data technicians, computer numerically controlled machine tool programmers, civil engineer technicians, aviation inspectors. Let's see. I saw police identification and records officers, manufacturing. So I see a lot of like hands-on type of, I see a lot of engineering on here, a lot of like mechanical stuff, nuclear equipment operators. So if you're interested in one, and I'm gonna go ahead and go here. I wonder what a nuclear equipment operation technician does. So their average salary is pretty nice, over 100K a year. About the job, so it tells you a little bit about the job, what they do, what, people that are in this field, what their interests usually are, what their work values are, things that you should know, things that you need to be able to do, and it gives you a list of similar occupations. It gives you also different names of the positions, the industries that are employing in this field. And then here, if you already have something in mind, you're like, I wonder, about a social worker, because I'm just gonna go with, you could click on here, their average salary, and again, what they do, the type of education they need. This is a very resourceful, very useful resource that you guys could definitely or should take advantage of, just because you could already start seeing what it is, the day-to-day. Some of these do also have, I don't know if it's this website, it might be another one, but I know there's a section on here where you can actually watch like videos of someone working in that field and what their day-to-day consists of. So great resource to have. Let's go ahead and continue because we are past 6 o'clock and I do want to be mindful of your time. Let's go back to the presentation. So if you did the paper one, you'll see this in your packet. If you did the other one online, you can find it as well. But pretty much the realistic are the doers, those that like to learn hands-on. The social are the helpers, those that like to work with others, teach, counsel, do a lot of community stuff. The investigative are the thinkers, those that like to do the research. Those are probably like, our scientists. Our enterprising, are the persuaders. Those might be our business people. Artistic are our creators. Those of you that like to write, draw, sing. And conventional are the organizers. Those that like to keep, let's say, maybe accounting, bookkeeping, keeping everything organized, keeping things in a certain way. I'm usually somewhere between, definitely social is my first one. Conventional is always a good one. I love to keep track of things. And then I think last time it was investigative. I thought it was realistic, but yeah, that wasn't me. So definitely, keep these in mind. And now to be mindful of your time, we have come to the end, but are there any questions, any comments? Did anyone actually have the opportunity to do the personality test that might want to share what their results were? You can go ahead and share now. Anyone want to share? Is anyone still